Thank you. So thank you, Jan, for inviting me over and over again. I hope you're not tired of seeing me. It's a pleasure to be here. I really have to say it's one of the conferences that I like to attend the most or have the people in my team attend because really you have the hottest startups in Europe and you know of all of them. But today I am here representing a new company. It's called Next47. I am a partner with Next47. I just joined in December 2016, and I'll tell you what Next47 is doing and why we are here and what is the reasons for our existence. So if I click this forward, there you go. So in the past, Siemens has brought a lot of value to our customers through our divisions, that is where products get developed, the regions, that is where the customer contacts are and the local knowledge resides, and corporate technology. That was very focused on creating the new generation of technologies for Siemens internally. And since October last year, there is a new kid in the circle, and it's called Next47. And why Next47? Next47 is here to be a strategic investor to ride the external wave of innovation and bring the startups into Siemens. We have 1 billion euros allocated over the next 5 years only to invest into startups. And why that? Well, we all know two things are happening very, very fast. One of them, technology is changing extremely fast, and I'll go into that in a second. And this technology change is no longer driven by corporations. So let's talk about technology change. In the industrial world, what Siemens has been for years, and 170 years today, all innovation was very much continuous innovation, continuous improving next generation of the business models. With digitalization, we have seen that it's no longer continuous improvement, but it's exponential growth, and this exponential growth is not happening over years, it's not happening over decades, it's happening over years. I'll give you some examples there. You have, for example, 3D printing. The cost of 3D printing has been reduced by 400% in 7 years. Internet of Things. We all know 50 million connected devices in 2005, 50 billion connected devices in 2020. Energy, solar. Anyone who has been in the energy business has seen the prices of solar PV, or actually I was just shocked to hear also of offshore, collapse in only 8–10 years. So this change is not gradual, this change is not linear, this change is exponential, and this change is happening not over decades, but over years. What has happened too? If you look at 30 years ago, the top 10 corporations in the United States accounting for 90% of the innovations in the market. Today, they barely count for 10%. Why? Because innovation is no longer driven by corporations. Innovation is driven by startups that are creating new clusters, new categories, and are changing the environment in those new categories. And I just can tell you some of those categories that are of enormous importance for Siemens. 3D printing. It will completely change the future of manufacturing. Will manufacturing move back to the local markets? And will it not longer be about large, enormous industrial groups, but it will be about small industries and small corporations driving the industrialization, robots and drones. Everybody's talking about where are jobs going. And jobs are going into automation and robots and drones, and they're taking more and more and more capabilities, and they're taking over more and more fields. IoT, I just mentioned it, billion of connected devices. The amount of information, the amount of business models, the amount of optimization and effectiveness that you can bring across so many industries is just unbelievable. Artificial intelligence. Will machines take over humans? That's to be determined. But in some areas, some machines are already being superior to the human intelligence. This is something that we have to be aware, and this is something that we have to know about and how to make it beneficial for industries and for all. Artificial reality, virtual reality, cybersecurity, blockchain, decentralized energy. So those are new clusters that are being created completely by startups, not by corporations. And that's why it's extremely important to have Next47 to be a partner to these startups. Because our job is to bring the best value to our customers. And today, in the 21st century, there's no value to a customer without innovation. So on one side, you have these startups who are creating these new categories, these innovation clusters, who are defining new markets. And in the other side, you have the Siemens customers. And the role of Next47 is to cure innovation for our customers, to cure external innovation, to bring these startups into our customers. How will we do that? I think I have already mentioned that we are a strategic investor, a venture capital investor, and this is what we call capital. Here we have $1 billion to invest on startups around the world that have a product or a service that we can bring to our customers. And something very important that I want to say here, in the past, Siemens Venture Capital has been there for many years. It's actually, Siemens Venture Capital has been probably one of the longest corporate venture capital activities out there, where many people came and go. Siemens has always been consistent, but in the last few years, they had certain restrictions. And they were restricted by what the divisions wanted. So the divisions had a strategy, and they went to Siemens Venture Capital, and they asked them, can you please bring me a company that fills this gap? That was great, and actually has brought a lot of innovation, and it has been quite successful financially and also strategically. The problem that we had there is that we were limiting where we could invest, and we were limiting the success of the startups. So if the division had this area that they wanted to look at, and they found a hole, we were supposed to invest on that hole. But if we found a company that filled that hole plus another area, that was outside the scope. If there was a company that filled different holes, that was taken by different divisions, and it was very complicated. It was a startup that created a completely new category. It was not in the scope. So this is exactly what Next47 Capital team aims to do. Not to be limited only by what Siemens is doing today, but have the capability to invest in startups that will create new categories that are outside the scope, and that we will be able to invest without the permissions of Siemens business. Second thing, and to me this is critical, because this is the core of what a corporate venture capital is about. We will help these startups scale. It's all about commercialization. It will not be about bringing a startup and taking 20,000 engineers around the startup trying to justify why the technology won't work. This is not the role of Catalyst. The role of Catalyst is to bring commercialization into our customers. And we have just hired a partner who's solely dedicated to that. He's the CEO of Canada with an enormous network within Siemens, and his whole job is to find a sales team that can help sell the solution of the startup. We're in 200 countries. We have millions of sales account managers. We have millions of service organizations, and the role of Catalyst is to tap into the commercial side, not the technical side, to help these ones grow. And last but not least, because this is the most important part, is Create. And in Create, I'll explain you where the name of Next47 comes from. Do you know when Siemens was founded? 1847. So we are here to create the next generation of business for Siemens. We are here to make sure that in 170 years from now, Siemens is still there. So what we will do is get the insights that we get from Capital, get the insights that we get from Catalyst to know how things are commercialized, and decide which ones are the winning companies that we want to bring into Siemens. And bringing to Siemens can take 1,000 different forms. Can be a joint venture, can be a collaboration, can be a majority investment into the company. But the ultimate goal of our Capital and Catalyst activities are to bring this innovation into Siemens. Finally, where are we? We are where innovation happens. So we will really, really focus on the innovation clusters, on the centers of innovation. So we are in California and in Boston. We are here in Germany, and I will be moving to London to take care of the London office and start a new London office taking care of the non-Germanic and Western part of Europe, and we will also continue, we will grow our activities into China. So if you have a product, a service that Siemens can help you grow, if you have been successful in Germany and you want to go to France, give me a call. If you've been successful in France and want to go to China, give me a call. So this is what Next47 is here to do. Thank you.